I'm Tim Zykowski. The premise of this show is simple. I have conversations with entertainers that no one's ever heard of. I'll be shooting the breeze with actors, directors, writers, comedians, athletes, musicians. Simple entertainment. Welcome to Anybody Who Ain't Anybody. My name's Tim Zykowski. Today again we're at the Comedy Room at Portofino's Restaurant.
Is that the name of the show?
The Comedy Room.
Oh, what's the name of your...
Anybody Who Ain't Anybody.
Yeah, that's me.
That's absolutely Billy. And
the most famous person you've never heard of.
I had Dustin Diamond in my living room the other day. That was interesting.
I'm sure it would be.
That was interesting.
I've had him in my living room too, but he was on the tube.
Yeah, see? And
had a lot of people in my living room I didn't want there.
And I'm one of them.
John Heffron. I didn't want in my living room.
Yeah, he's done very well.
Rosie O'Donnell, I didn't want her in my living room.
Yeah, they've done very well, haven't they?
I suppose. Yeah, well, Rosie's done great.
Yeah, she's somebody I wouldn't mind sitting down and shooting the breeze with.
Really?
Yeah, just because she's, it wouldn't be a boring conversation. It'd just be,
she's over the top.
Yeah.
Rosie's lost her mind.
Well, there is that.
And they keep putting these comedians like, Dennis Miller and these other nitwits on these shows, and they're just comics. These people aren't geniuses, they're not smarter than anybody else. They're just comics, and they put them in these situations where they're supposed to pontificate and have the answer to stuff, and they don't. They're comics. They're idiots.
Now,
I've known Rosie a long time, and I feel bad for Rosie.
Oh, you've met Rosie?
Oh, that was the first paying gig I had was with Rosie O'Donnell.
Really?
I knew her. I've known Rosie. I knew Rosie when she was a man. I'll tell you what,
you're old.
Oh, Robbie O'Donnell could drink some beers, man. He was a good time. What a chick magnet.
That's good to know. I wasn't aware of that. Now, where'd you meet her?
And that was in Ann Arbor.
Ann Arbor?
Yeah, Main Street Comedy Showcase.
Now, who owned it at the time?
I worked with a slew of people there, and a lot of them, have gone off into obscurity, unfortunately. But like I remember Dr. Katz.
Yeah, Jonathan
Katz.
Very funny.
And Jeffrey Ross.
No way.
Another Blake Clark.
You brought him into Dearborn.
Yeah, well, that's where I knew these guys from.
Yeah.
I knew them from Ann Arbor. Another guy by the name of Gallagher. Can't remember his first name. Not the smashing guy, but guy that I've seen on the Travel Channel hosting stuff. Of course, Jim Wiggins, the oldest hippie.
Oh, yeah, Jim.
Pat Paulson.
No way.
And Rita Rudner. Yeah.
Now, I saw you work with Soupy Sales.
Yeah, but that was look, that was a personal triumph. I grew up with Soupy, and say what you want. I mean, sure, the guy's just this old TV hack, but it was a ball. I mean, for me, it was a lot of fun. And it was something I really wanted to do, and we got to be friends. And he used to call me looking for work.
Soupy would.
Yeah, here I'm thinking this guy could be opening doors for me, and he's calling me. If I'm, hey, Bill, you know how he talks. You ought to find us a place to do a show. I'm going, this isn't the way it's supposed to work.
Did you bring him in at Dearborn by any chance?
Guy sent me, I brought him in there like twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And my first paying gig was Bobby Slayton. Bobby Slayton arranged it, and it was in Dearborn.
Yeah, there's another guy that I met in Ann Arbor. It was Bobby Slayton.
Yeah, he was interesting to be around. He's just a guy that you just want to bust his chops. You just want to go, Bobby.
We're driving. I'm taking him to radio, and I stop for a yellow light. And he goes, "Oh, you could have made that." He's busting my chops. He goes, "That's a homo point." That's what he says. You do that 3 more times, I'm bending you over the hood of this car. So he's just busting my chops the whole time, right? So after we get done with this radio thing, he loves Chinese food, and there used to be a place on Michigan Avenue where they had what they called like New York Chinese. That's what he called it.
Right.
So we go there, and the place is closed. And it's always been open when we've been there before. So I said, "Oh man, we got to find a place." So I take him to Kyoto Steakhouse, and he goes, are we gonna have to sit at a table with all these other people? And I go, yeah. And he says, oh, that won't work. I'll clear this place out. He says, you gotta be crazy. So as we're leaving, he sees this door that says sushi. He goes, oh, here, this is us. I'm buying. I've never had it. I've never had sushi. I got no idea. So he goes, go ahead, order anything you want. I've had calamari.
Right.
I know what calamari is. It's squid.
Right.
On the menu, they had squid. So I figure, well, I'll have that. So they bring the food. They set his down. Of course, he's got the little, he knows what he's ordering. He's got the little rice rolls and everything. They set my plate down here. This squid just,
It's still half alive.
just lying there on my plate. There it is. Boom. Oh my God, jeez. Well, I can't send it back because Bobby will just eat me alive.
There's another homo point.
Another homo point. So I grab the old knife and the old fork, and I start sawing away at those tentacles. And soy sauce will hide a ton of sins. And I'll tell you what, I ate 2/3 of that damn thing.
Did you end up liking it?
No.
No, I didn't.
So we're walking out the car. Bobby's going, man, that was really good, but I never would have ate that shit you had. So I probably could have sent it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun. Yeah, what's the drink policy at the club? I go, it's half off. Pull over. And he'd get like a guest area there and do vodka between shows. So yeah, a lot of fun guys. A lot of guys were basically good. There's very few idiots.
You told me you
Bronson Pinchot was an idiot.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird when you get to meet somebody that you see on TV and you get to hang around with them a little bit, and they treat you like that.
Yeah.
It kind of lets you down. It kind of makes you want to not be that kind of person.
Doug Stanhope was a lot of fun. He was a good guy.
He's way too. I got to hang around with him on a few different occasions, and Dearborn was one of them. And just wonderfully wrong. There's no way
Yeah.
you can say what he says.
Yeah.
You just can't.
You were just dropping names because that just adds value to the show. You see.
And it kills time.
People hear the name and they tune in and they go, I want to hear about that. So
Yeah.
they don't want to hear about me, but I can drop names for a half an hour. We're just getting started. We're just scraping the surface.
I got to do, when you stopped doing the, driving the national touring headliners to Dearborn. From
Yeah,
Dearborn.
for the radio.
Yeah. You said you had a weird time with Kevin Meaney, too.
Yes. Every time I'd put on the brakes in the car, he'd scream and throw a sweater over his head. And I'm going, man, this guy's crazy. And he was always, this character that he does, And it was the oddest thing, and I stopped trying to have a conversation with him because it just wasn't going to happen. So after we were done, I'm just upstairs having a drink, and all of a sudden he sits down next to me. It was the last show. He's been paid. And he's like, so how you doing? Where are you going to be next? All of a sudden he's this regular guy with a regular voice. And I'm going, geez, oh Pete, where did you come from? Because I didn't realize it was all an act. I thought that's the way he was. And it is. It's just a stone cold act. He's just a regular guy.
You told me about that. And I picked him up and I drove him to radio. And I says, this guy, Bill Hildebrandt, told me some stories about you, how every time he hit the brakes, you would, and he goes, yeah, that was fun. That's all he was doing, is just busting your chops. That was great.
Yeah, well, he did a nice job of it.
Yeah, you know what, Billy?
I think it's time we wrap this thing up.
I think it is time we wrapped it up. And I want to thank you for being on the show.
Well, we didn't talk about my career much, but we tried to ruin some other ones, didn't we?
I think we've done a pretty good job.
Talking out of turn, out of school.
Yeah, you're not going to see Gilbert Godfrey here.
No.
No.
Or Vinnie Favorito.
Or Robin Williams, for that matter, or Rosie.
Yeah, or Rosie.
None of those people coming here.
Nope.
But Bill Hildebrandt is here. Thank you very much for being part of the show.
Thank you, Tim.
My
Appreciate
pleasure. I'll talk to you soon. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Go to bed now.
Yeah.
It's over.
That's a wrap.